So the first question on duality and non-duality is, you've said when you first begin to practice meditation, you set a target, you as the droplet of the ocean and the ocean as the target. Can you explain about that, please?
I would like to mention about the three great masters who came in the southern part of India, almost contemporaries or a little different. Like Adi Shankaracharya, he taught the philosophy of non-duality, and Madhavacharya, he taught the philosophy of duality, and Ramanujacharya taught Vishishtadvaita, means we are a part of the divinity, whereas like non-duality, one single self that exists, all pervaded. Dualism, we are as the droplet and the divine as our ocean. That is recognized in the terminologies of Jivatma, the individual imagined self, and the Paramatma, the supreme being. So like this. So I have tried to tell that what we learn, all the three philosophies in its own way are very valuable. It is very meaningful in their appropriate stages. Just like when you begin the sadhana means you want to realize yourself or you want to achieve supreme peace, whatever it is. So you set the target, the divinity, and you as the droplet, and your origin is that ocean. In fact, if you are the droplet, like the consciousness of existence, the mind, which we call it as the combination of consciousness and energy, if that is you, and your source, ultimate source from where you would have come out, is the recognized as supreme consciousness and supreme energy. So that is how when you begin as a Jivatma, wanting to meditate on the divinity, Paramatma, so your ocean. If you are as the droplet of the ocean, you meditate on the ocean. Unknown to you, you will automatically get connected. When your mind becomes quiet and silence totally, then that consciousness of existence, so that's what happens, and it will go introvert and gets absorbed into the self. That's what it the effect of the tapas, meditation, and deeper meditations called tapas. And that is when, so on the way, after a certain stage, the seeker feels as if you are being absorbed by an inner power, inner energy, inner gravity, that inner anything. So that is when you realize you are part of that only, not a separate entity at that stage. So this is the second stage. Then third, when you totally get absorbed, the I would have totally vanished. There is no more I and no more aware. You go beyond all these things. You would have merged. That is one single self that exists. That is what is recognized as divinity. So when there is a devotee, there is a divine. That's how the in dualism. So once both ends, the seer and seen disappear. They all end. They dissolve. They are no more there. Only one single self exists there. So that's what the final truth is. That is the advaita, the non-dualism. So we began with dualism and ended in non-dualism. One single self.
So is it that they follow one another? You start as dualistic and you end non-dualistic?
Yeah, definitely. They are connected to each other. They follow one another. Because if the appearance of this world has happened, the universe has come. And universe source also is that divinity. Just like we take space and matter. Matter as the source of. Matter source is space. It is not outside the space. The matter is within the space. The space is holding. So that is how it is considered as the form of the space only. Like in Vedas and Upanishads, the great philosophical teaching, the sages quoting their own experiences, they talk that the appearance of the universe is also within the divinity only. This world, which is also absolute, has come out from that absolute, which is the space. When this absolute, the world, merges with that, what remains is the one absoluteness. This you can experience in deeper samadhi and a nirvikalp samadhi effect at that time. The merger happens. So you will lose the effect of that I also. Till then you hold on to that I. So thus they are all connected to each other at their stages as part of it. The Amsha it is called, microspec of that ultimate truth. That is Ramanujacharya's Vishishta Advaita. That's what known as. So after your mind becomes totally blossomed and the seeker feels as if it's here, then it starts merging. The samadhi starts happening. Then you feel as if some inner power will suck you, will absorb you slowly, slowly. That's when you realize you are a microspec of that ultimate truth, which is recognized as divinity only. Ultimately, all terminologies are just imagination for sake of understanding and communication only. Finally, everything disappears, one single self. That's why that truth got called as that. It was so awesome and amazing, the sages realized. So they called the first terminology as that. That, addressing like that only, they use it to discuss. That is simply all pervaded. And that is such an amazing truth. That is the ultimate truth of all of us. That is the ultimate form of all of us, of existence, all of our individual imagined selves. Like that they used to discuss. That is why they gave the terminology of that. Tattva. Tattva is the Sanskrit word that means that.
Thank you. So, Adi Shankara was one of the main proponents of non-duality, but he also wrote devotional hymns. That seems like a contradiction. Can you explain why he did that, please?
Actually, it is not a contradiction. He said, he didn't say that the divine is only non-duality and nothing else exists. He doesn't say like that. As long as you have an imagined individual self, I, and I am this, then the divine for you, your ultimate source is divine. That you can worship in any form. He advocated 6 forms of divinity like Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva and the goddess mother, Ganesha and Swami Kartikeya. So Ganesha he recommended remover of obstacles, Vigneshwara. Vigna he means obstacle. That's how he recommended. And Swami Kartikeya as the commander-in-chief of all divine forces. People used to worship anything that they could find. Even an illness also they started worshipping some devata, some angel like that. So then Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva are the concepts of creativity coming into existence, and the sustenance of that created thing is Vishnu. Withdrawal of the creation back into self is Shiva. Your existence in total thoughtlessness state. That's what I have tried to explain. And the mother goddess, Bhuvaneshwari. This concept, so that the creation can go on, the mother could unconditionally forgive the creation. So when people are in trouble, they all need some anchor. That's when they try to remember divinity, some prayer. Oh, please pray, please do this one, like that. It all comes. So that is how all these things has been explained.
So, would you say that non-duality is an experience of a yogi, or is it a philosophy, or is it a practice?
It is an experience of a yogi when gradually, as he goes on and on in meditation, what happens? He gets rid of all imaginations, all thoughts, all visions, everything dissolves. So when this dissolves means all identity, all imagination, all imagined individual self, even that I also finally ends. That's when the actual Nirvikalp Samadhi happens. There's just one single self that exists, that is experienced by a yogi. There is neither awareness nor non-awareness. Because any terminology we use, people of this world are always used to imagine about the opposite also. Their awareness means there has to be an awareness. If it is not there, it is unconsciousness. It is not so here. The truth is, it is neither awareness nor unconsciousness is there. So neither this nor that. It is there and it is not there type of experience. So for that only in duality only you experience that you exist as the eternal soul. Your existence is in eternal entity. But once you merge with that self, everything ends simply. One single self exists because there is no relative existence to call it in a name or to recognize an existence or to define what that existence is. All these things ceases.
In duality, is there a danger of becoming too attached to the imagined creation, or even an attachment too strong to the creator?
If you are able to find the right guru who is really self-realized, such a guru can guide you to give up all the things and finally merge with the self by doing such sadhana. And that was the uniqueness of the technique that our Guru Shiva Balayogi gave to this world for Loka Kalyana. That's why I have always tried to explain, without any anchor, you are asked just to watch, and you are not told what is it that you have to watch. So fixing the eyeballs, just to watch. So as all thoughts and visions dissolve, so your mind all gathers, it becomes purified, a pure consciousness of existence. Then it starts getting absorbed into the self. So for this, what Swamiji used to use the language, your effort must be to concentrate the mind here, bring all the mind here. Once it comes here, afterwards everything will happen automatically, he used to say. Means you put an effort just by watching, not trying to analyze, not trying to imagine anything. Because then all the mind gathers. Then what happens? It gets detached from the brain's reflections. That is when a seeker will feel as if one is here. It would have lifted the body consciousness also. It is a different thing. Many people falsely simply claim, they come, the body, this kundalini has come here, it is stuck somewhere here, so I need to take it out. They won't have purified the mind, and they are imagining in the mind that their kundalini has risen, so they have become something supernatural. So these type of things, myths have been spread unnecessarily. People imagine, because people always feel excited in this world only. They would like to become, they are happy to become a magician in this world, but not self-realization. So many people find it is very dry, it is not interesting, but they don't know Because if the mind becomes quiet and if they experience that truth, supremely peaceful, awesome of peace is there always. It is not simply just nothing. It's an amazing, awesome thing. So only those who can clear their mind of all thoughts and vision can experience this oneness. That's what happens. That's how the oneness is experienced, and all other imaginations, all definition, I, including the I, everything disappear. This is what the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita also talks. Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. Sannyasa means when you give up the wanting of liberation, then you get liberated. Just like, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, you keep repeating. Finally, when the sleep comes, that is stopped, and you don't know when you would have gone to sleep.
So, if the meditation practice is correct and with the right guidance, this is just a natural progression, and there's no problem of getting stuck or there being sort of a plateau.
Yeah, that's why I have told what Swamiji's technique that Jangama said that gave him such an unique thing. So after you watch, when the mind gives up all its thoughts and visions, it's easy for it to go introvert. It becomes one and gathered. It would have given up all anchor, totally dissolved once for all. It is not stuck anywhere. It's not holding on to any image or any form or formlessness. That Swamiji never told any terminology for his philosophy, whether it is form or formlessness. He just told, you can believe God in any form or formlessness. Just don't bother condemn about others' beliefs. You just go ahead. One day it will happen. The same God, the same divine will bless you with such a guru who will guide you, who will help you to overcome. So that is how I think Swamiji guided and helped us to lose all such things. Means every scolding that he gave, every fault that he tried to find in us, or for this purpose only, so that our ego simply dissolves in every way. We surrender. Oh God, Swamiji, I surrender. I accept. If I am fault, I accept. If I am not right, I accept. If I am an idiot, I accept. If I am anything you say, accept. Simply accept and become quiet. Don't argue with Swamiji. Let him say anything. So like that, the mind would become quiet. When it became quiet, sometimes it used to enjoy that peace. So that's when a smile used to come on the face. Then he would be furious again. Now I am scolding and you don't understand what I am scolding. You are smiling. Are you making fun of me? That was again. Okay. We used to become quiet. Like that, he trained and he helped the mind to go into non-duality without telling that as non-duality. He never told any non-duality as his philosophy. Like he simply told, if you read Yoga Vasistha, you will know my philosophy. Everything is simply imagination. That means duality, non-duality, also imagination. Those great masters were also self-realized. For sake of understanding, they gave such terminologies and they taught it. So, like Adi Shankara, though he taught non-dualism, he didn't condemn nor he didn't look down at duality. That's how he has composed beautiful songs, chants about the Divine Mother, all these things. He has done wonderfully. His own Bhaja Govindam song is so beautiful, giving such an amazing meaning. So when death happens, none of this worldly health, wealth, power, nothing can come to your rescue. So sing the glory of God. Remember that divinity in your mind. That's what he has told.
That bhajan that also inspired you when you were about 6 or 7 years of age?
Yeah. And when I heard my sister was singing, the tune was very nice. That's what music was, the first attraction. It drew my mind into that. Then The second line, when I tried to understand, it was simple, not very difficult also to understand. Samprapte sannihite kale. Kale means when death comes, when the time is over, your time on this earth is over. That Dukrin Karane means that grammar knowledge, that language, that power, health, wealth, nothing will come to your rescue. It won't say, oh, he is an emperor, let us wait for some time. Oh, he is an ordinary man, we will take it. No such thing happens. One rule. It is death, it is death. It's finished. Your body is to finish. Whether you are a yogi, whether you are a emperor, whether you are anything, God, sun, moon, everything will disappear one day. Sun will also go away. That's what Kabir Das sings. All the space, Akasha also will disappear. Nothing will be there.
One person asked, after doing tapas, the duality state ends and a yogi merges into the Supreme Self. When this happens, the mind is supposed to be non-existent. But we've heard of devotees telling us about getting real-life interactions from their masters. How does this happen?
You see, when you have faith, total faith in that name of your Guru, so that means then your mind gets connected with the divinity that is all pervaded. And you may get to see the form of your master manifesting in front of you. That's how we all experience. This is an individual experience. You have to be. So for that your mind has to get connected. So if your mind worships in that form, so that is a mental resolution. So that makes one day when that faith picks up into 100%, tremendous amount of faith. The faith that Draupadi had when she left her sari and surrendered to Lord Krishna, like that type of devotional faith must be there. No questioning, nothing. Total surrender. If the master says you are an idiot, we are an idiot. And don't imagine about that idiotism also. Become quiet. That's important. Like that, you have to surrender. Then such a manifestation can happen. The same divine, because the Guru is merged with the divine, is one with the all-pervadedness. So that is how that connection can happen. But for every individual it is advised, finally, you go for your own experience is important. For that you have to meditate, meditate and meditate.
Pranam Babaji.
Bless you.
Thank you so much for that talk about going from Madhava to Ramanuja to Shankara. I was wondering, Madhava, I understand duality, separation between God and the person. Shankara, I understand, unity of God and the person. Could you please speak a little bit more about that transition that described by Ramanuja, Vishishtha Advaita? That's less easy to understand.
Ramanuja taught the Jivatma is a microspeck part of that divinity, that all-pervaded divine. Amsha, understand this word, Amsha means. So that is how it is Vishishtha Advaita. It is Advaita, it is one with that one, but yet it is a small microspeck part which has come out. So like that, but it is connected to that one. So that's what I was explaining in my experience. When the mind 100% gathers here in between eyebrows, then it gets detached from the brain's reflection. Then the seeker feels as if one is here above the head. Probably in ancient times, while teaching these things, symbolically, that's why teachers would have taught masters, when the mind is here, when you feel that you are here, that means you are blossomed, totally purified, just like a blossom, like 1,000 petals lotus. So then afterwards you lose location and it starts going introvert totally. And then for a while you will feel as if you are being absorbed from some inner power. You are not pushing, you are not putting any other effort, as if some automatic gravitational force is pulling you inside, making you absorb. So that's when you experience this Vishishta Advaita also. You realize, this is the Vishishta Advaita that Ramanujacharya has tried to teach. So there is no conflict amongst any of these non-dualism, dualism or Vishishta Advaita. At that stages, it appears to be so, and that is okay, fine. So everybody has a choice. Who you want to go through devotional path, you want to worship God in a form, in a name, you are welcome, no problem. Any name, any form. That's why Swamiji told he never got involved into controversy. He said everything is all right. Formlessness, form, you imagine. Simply respect others' beliefs also. So if I want to believe in Advaita, let me respect the Dvaita and Vishishta Advaita also.
Yes, okay. My question is, if you can explain this mantra or whatever what it is, Aham Brahmasmi, what it stands for.
Aham Brahmasmi, what Adi Shankara told, it doesn't mean that any individual start thinking, oh, I am that God. Not like that. If that I, what we are thinking about myself is not actually the I. That I is actually that divinity which is all pervaded. All the I's in every physical bodies, they are all that Brahma only. That's what the meaning of Aham Brahmasmi. Aham is the self. I am.
Self.
This I am, just now what we are imagining is not that I is that divinity. That's the meaning.
Yes. Babaji, also in Bhagavad Gita it is said that niyam, Lord Krishna loves the person who lives by the niyam. What is the explanation of the word niyam?
Discipline. Dedication,
Okay.
discipline and patience, what we teach. Here niyam means discipline.
Okay, Babaji. Thank you, Babaji. Thank you.
My name's Babaji. Babaji, as a teenager, I read this beautiful quote, which I thought was beautiful. It said, desiring, you see creation. Desireless, you see the creator. Is that right? And would you explain that, please?
Yeah, you see, I have sometimes told when you enter a hall or a room or any such place, the space seldom attracts your attention. But all the matter that is there, like for example, there might be a pillar, there might be a fan, there might be some screen, some curtains, some material, some people. All these attracts and we keep wondering, we try to know what it is, we try to introduce ourselves from the body, all these things, but we never bother about the space. If all our thoughts, visions, our imaginations cease, comes to an end, then we will get to see that mind itself, which is holding all the thoughts and visions. That mind is the consciousness of, the combination of consciousness and energy. That is the small example of the divinity, which is supreme consciousness and energy. That is what you are trying to do in meditation also. You are trying to get rid of all thoughts and visions, all imaginations come to an end. Then you will experience that truth of divinity that is all pervaded. It is possible. Believe in yourself. Practice the meditation. Use the technique in the right sense. Just watch. Then all thoughts will disappear. You will be able to see the Creator.